Hello, hello. Is it visible, audible? Hello, hello, hello. Please confirm once whether it is audible or not.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, dear student. So, dear student, very good evening to all. Today we are going to discuss about 6th July, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, dear student, here I am going to explain detail about where there are possible questions they can ask in UPSC prelims and which point where you have to write in your mains answer writing so that you'll get at least 20 to 30 question in your prelims and 80 plus marks you'll gain extra in your mains because last you can say 8 to 10 years journey in UPSC I've committed so many mistakes, okay, and I have learned so all these things, so and I'm involved in this field for quite long time, so I'm going to explain you in detail how you are going to use
Hello.
1 second, so how you are going to use each and every section for your better for your prelims and mains, okay. So so first question, how you are going to get this PDF? You can simply scan this QR code to download our application. From there you'll get all the PDF of past month as well as today PDF of our infographics edition. You can join our Telegram group to get this not this PDF or all the current affair related MCQ daily question, all these things. And those who are using iOS, ipad, or device or Apple device, they can simply download the class plus application and use org code, organization code PKR MEG, so you'll have access to all these things also, okay. So dear student, first important news is the Nehal Modi co-accused in the PNB case held in USA. So the Nirav Modi brother, Nahal Modi. So recently he was held, or you can say the police nabbed them in the USA. So you know that the Nehal Modi co-accused in 13,000 Punjab National Bank scam, ठीक है, mastermind. So its mastermind Nirav Modi arrested in USA based extradition request enforcement director. So dear student, what do you mean by extradition? Let's say there is a criminal who arrested in let's say that there is a criminal who arrested in USA, but this criminal, India want that criminal to trial in India. In that case, India will send a request for extradition, and USA will, after acceptance, send that criminal to India for trial in India. That is what called extradition. And dear student, there is a this PNB the scam that is involved with Tom called swept. So what is the full form of swept? So just write in the comment box. So let me see how many of you know that. Okay. And dear student, let me tell you. So daily I'll give you 7 to 10 tasks. So during while you are watching this lecture, so note them down. And after completion of this discussion video, please do some googling and find the meaning and the essence of all these terms and note them down. Note them in your notebook so that they are going to helpful throughout this journey of your UPSC. Okay. It can be a prelims, it can be mains, it can be interview. Okay. Okay, so let's see the alleged money laundering under Section 3 of the Prevention Money Laundering Act. So that means there is a law called Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So it was passed basically to prevent money laundering means illegal money. So let's say आपने बहुत सारे illegal money generate किए and you want to convert that illegal money to legal. So in that case, you'll use money laundering, money laundering. So this is a process of converting. For example, you can say, let's say you have the crores of money, illegal money. So you can use thousands of people to deposit that money in their account, and later on, that is going to convert from illegal to legal money. Na? So this is the way, or you can do something like fund during the election also. That is also going to convert illegal money to legal money. So to prevent that, we have a law called Money Laundering Act. So under that, he was arrested. Okay, he formed a cell company. Cell company means a company without having any physical assets. This is a paper company. That is company that is just established for the purpose of this money laundering. Let's say there is a company without having any assets. So basically, they receive all this illegal money and show them as a profit from or sales or acquisition. You can say they say that they have. Let's say मैं आपको example देता हूँ. Let's say this is a cell company and they receive all the funding from, let's say, the money laundering fund, 1 crore. And how they are going to convert this 1 crore? So they will buy some, you can say, intellectual property right at, let's say, 1000 rupees, but they will show that price as 1 crore. Okay, so after that they will sell a lot of things and they show their profit as 1000 crore, but in reality all this profit they'll brought from this all this illegal money. So in this way they convert the illegal money into legal money. Okay? So currently the Nirav Modi languishing in the USA jail. Sorry, it is the UK jail. Okay? So next, three Kerala district high alert on Nipah, people under the observation. So recently we are seeing that Nipah virus is spreading in Kerala. So because of that, high alert is there. So to prevent any further spread, so Kerala government has taken a lot of steps, like quarantine and then restricting the movement. So dear student, it is a homework study about Nipah virus. Nipah virus, how Nipah virus is infected, what are the mode, what are the consequences, what are the host, like from which animal Nipah virus is infected, and what are the symptoms, whether there are any medicine for treatment of the Nipah virus or not. So you have to study in detail about everything. So there is a high chances that you can expect a question in your examination. So next is India and Trinidad Tobago inked deal for pharma and finance. So the Trinidad and Tobago signed at least 6 agreement with India that will pave the way for Indian financial and pharma sector to emerge as a major player in the Caribbean region. So dear student, you have to map the location of the Trinidad and Tobago. You have to map this location. So they can ask something, recently in news located in which part of the world. So next is Trinidad and Tobago has also announced that it will join Indian a global initiative like coalition for disaster resilience infrastructure. So dear student, tell me the headquarter of this CDRI. CDRY headquarter is located in which region of the India? The next is Biofuel Alliance. Global Biofuel Alliance is also part of, India's led initiative. So they will join both these initiatives. So two side also signed agreement on Indian grant assistance fund implementation of quick impact projects. So India provide assistance for quick developmental projects. So there India will provide the funding for quick development. So the implementation of short gestation means very fast. That can be implemented within, let's say, 1 year, 6 month. A quick implementation project which will not exceed $50,000 for each project. So maximum 5 projects will be offered to each financial year. So joint statement talk about that. So our prime minister also declared that India will gift 2000 laptops. So you can talk about how India is helping the capacity building of these people. So Trinidad and Tobago gesture to support Prime Minister Kamala. So ambitious digitizing the education. So our Prime Minister also gifted 1 million in agro machinery to the Trinidad and Tobago National Agricultural Marketing Corporation. So we are also providing 1 million for agro machinery, and we are also providing tobacco. We are also providing the laptops. We are also helping them in achieving their dream of become a pharmaceutical hub and financial hub. Okay. So recently we know that from 9th July, so the new tariff that is being going to impose all over the world. So Trump signed 12 trade letter to be sent for next week. So USA President Donald Trump Friday that it has signed 12 trade letter to be sent to the next week ahead of this impending deadline on tariff. Okay. So the wide range of between 10 to 17% sets to take effect in dozen of economy and with countries pushing to strike deal. So Donald Trump used this as an opportunity to pressurize the country to sign a trade deal with USA. So that is what their strategy. So they are following it. Okay. And dear student, you can join our mentorship program. So here all will get a daily schedule, personal mentor, and daily answer writing prelims test series. So many more things. So simply scan this QR code to join this program. Okay. So next, you can join our daily answer writing program, because after the prelims you will hardly get 75 days for your main. So to make excellence, or you can improve your performance, so you can join our answer writing program. Price are very nominal, and you will get UPSC selected candidate evaluation. We are not doing like normal evaluation, so you get a high quality evaluation. And those who are writing mains, you can also join our answer writing program. It's a very nominal fees by scanning this QR code. So price is very nominal and it's quite flexible. So next is four dead and more fewer trapped after a portion of mine collapse in Jharkhand. So we are seeing that time and again. There are severe accident happening in different part of our country regarding mines collapse, mines accident. So that is a clear reminder that we need to improve the safety of our mines. We need to invest more on the safety of our mines. Okay. So next, it's a quite controversial issue. Recently there are instances where young children they involve in the Santara. What do you mean by Santara? Santara is a tradition in the Jainism where people starve to death. Okay, so there are cases where it is still in judicial matter. Like judiciary is considered whether Santara is amount to you can say the suicide or not. So this is a classic incident. Starve for salvation. So a plea in Madhya Pradesh High Court seeks a ban on the Jain practice of Santara for minor after a 3-year-old girl diagnosed with brain tumor died in Indore, allegedly with half an hour of undertaking first turned to death. A debate, debate now. There is a row over the debate of this practice. Okay? So if you look into the precedent or past instances, so you can see here it is written. So the record declare that because this child is the youngest, or you can say youngest, who practice the Santara. Okay? So what are the question that raises as news spread to the day? So there are so many social activists who are opposing that, because they believe that this can be a good way of get rid of taking treatment of the old age or those who are burden to our family. So that is the reason. So rituals like Santara can be misused by the people to get rid of relative with serious mental health issue, and you can say health issue, even if that person is not a minor. Okay? So our only motive to the opposition say that only motive to ensure that there should be a justice. Okay? So then what is the position according to the judicial system? So in 115, so Rajasthan High Court banned the Santara, declared it a criminal offence punishable under Indian Penal Code. So Rajasthan High Court declared that Santara is illegal, and if someone is practiced, then it will be penalized. In Nikhil Soni versus Union of India other, the court has directed state authority to treat the practice as a suicide and abatement in the suicide. That means you are helping someone to commit the suicide. So this is very important. So you have to note them down. So in Nikhil Soni case, the Rajasthan High Court said it is amount to suicide, so it should be prevented and penalized. Those who are involved, they should be severely penalized. So after that, it hurt the sentiment of Jain people. So they moved to the High Court against the order of the Rajasthan High Court. So infringement of the secularism. So Supreme Court stayed that. So same month Supreme Court stayed the order and claiming that High Court has not consulted any scholar of Jainism, because we have to identify any religious practice as essential and non-essential. And essential religious practice cannot be curtailed. Non-essential religious practice you can curtail. So according to Supreme Court, High Court don't refer to this Jain community to understand which one is essential religious practices. Okay? And the community complained that in its order that criminalization of philosophy, which is essential religious practice. So Jain community saying that you are criminalizing an essential religious practice which cannot be amended, which cannot be changed. Okay. So the Rajesh Muni argue that parents have right to decide for their children. Okay, like the Rajesh Muni is a person who helped in the performance of this you can say Santara. So have right to decide the exceptional situation. One even one day infant, their parent have the right, because child cannot take decision. So it is the parent who can take decision, and it is said that for Santara consent is very essential. The person who are going to Santara, that person consent is very essential. Okay. So next, Kerala to launch, you can say, serological survey amid Nipah outbreak. Yes, we have to study the serological to find, which we know that the Nipah, the bat are the natural host of Nipah. Then bat, the virus need to be spread to other animal, then to the human being. Na? So we have to find which animal host the Nipah virus. So that is the reason researcher to hope fill the knowledge gap pertaining to the virus spillover from bat to the humans and recurring outbreak in northern part. Recent cases make eighth occurrence in the Nipah in the state. Last 8 years, we are seeing that 8 times Nipah virus is resurfacing. So Nipah virus has surfaced Kerala yet again, making the eighth appearance in the 8 years. So whether virus spillover, single index case, no secondary cases in community outbreak spillover with seen. Okay? So in response to the virus, seamless management. So now what we are doing, we are just isolating people, we are restricting their movement, and we are treating. So by studying, at our directs, by studying, for you can say that we are taking blood samples of cats, pigs, goats, dogs, and cats and human samples from within the few kilometer radius of the Nipah hotspot. This study will help how how the virus is. Let's say this is a bat. The virus is spreading. Let's say from dog, and dog are very close to human. So from human, so we have to find this intermediate species so that we can have better understanding how we are going to take steps to prevent this further spread. Okay. So, Commission on Air Quality Management response to the government request await no end live vehicle impounded in Delhi. So recently there is a decision taken by the Commission on Air Quality Management in Delhi. So it is saying that any vehicle that is end of their life, they should not be have any right to fill the petrol, and this vehicle need to be scrapped. So end of life vehicle are not being impounded at full station the national capital. This come amid the Delhi government request the central government, Commission of Air Quality Management, and adjoining area to halt drive against overuse user vehicle. The pollution control body is not respond to this request. Okay? So that means we are planning to deny the refueling of petrol and diesel at the petrol station. How we are going to do that? By using automatic number plate recognition camera, identify whether this vehicle is new or older. If it is violating the norm, then we can deny the petrol. Okay? The CAQM has mandated that from 1st of July, no fuel station would provide petrol, diesel, ELV petrol older than 15 year and diesel vehicle older than 10 year in Delhi. Okay? So next is dear student ministry for the Karnataka government on Mekedatu. So it's a very political news. So this is not important for us. What is important for is Mekedatu. So you have to map Mekedatu river. The dam is located on which river and why it is dispute between which state. So you have to study on that because it is a political news. It is not important for us, but they can be asked in your prelims also. Okay. So next is amid Janki title row, High Court judge watch the film in Kochi. So I'm just going to tell you the brief about that. So recently there is a movie launched in Kerala that is called Janki. So we know that Janki is the other name of Sita also. So in that movie, it is depicted that the Janki is a person, you can say person who is fighting for justice. So by portraying that, some section of the society they believe that hurt the sentiment of their religion. But on the other hand, those who are making a producer association, they are saying that they have the freedom of speech and expression. So they that need not to be curtailed. And second, in India, so many people are having a name that is very similar to the religious. You know that majority of the people, their name are derived from the religious name. So if we start imposing restrictions, so in that case, it is very difficult for the film producer industry or the producer to produce any filming. So because of that, this controversy is going on, and we know that there is a organization which is called Central Board of Film Certificate. They are established under Cinematography Act 1952. So they are established 52. So their basic aim is to pass the certificate, like pass the movie, whether this movie is ready for censor or not. Without a certificate, no movie can be live or live in the theater. So nowadays, what happened? So when any section of the society they demand that this movie is against their sentiment, so generally it is seen that the Central Board of Film Certificate they simply deny or recommend some cut whenever you are making unnecessary cut or you can say high cut to a movie. So that damage the creativity expression. You can imagine, let's say let's say this movie, entire movie, everywhere is written, let's say the XYZ name. So later on, it suggested that you need to replace X with A. So it is very difficult for the add moment, and if some dialogue are very important, if you replace that, it will reduce the essence of that. So we have to find a balance. While the create, you can say producer or the artistic, they have the freedom of expression under Article 19. So the reasonable restrictions should be as per the constitutional provision. There should not be any, you can say, the ground like hurting sentiment. So this should not be any ground. So that is the reason we need to ensure that the Central Board of Film Certificate should be only the certifying authority. It should not be act like a censor board, like to you can say sway by the demand of any section of this society. Okay. So next, no linkage between COVID-19 exposure or vaccine and cardiovascular events recently. So recently, we are seeing so many people are dying after this Corona COVID time. So be that famous star Siddharth, then also even recent police recruitments in Jharkhand, also so many people are died. So there are rumors or there are prediction. There are some quarter who are saying that these are happened because of after taking the you can say COVID-19 vaccine. But the study is clearly denying that. So next is Honeybee Flora Parks in Kerala, script a sweet story. So dear student, this can be your model initiative. This can, you can write model initiative to double the farmer income. Model initiative to double the farmer income. So you can write that. So here the Honeybee Flora Park. So the Kerala, they've designed the Honeybee Park. So where government, you can say the organization procure 50,000 kgs and farmer are earning around 25,000. So you can imagine, not only this honey flow, it's a beautiful place. We can use this to promote tourism also. We can also floriculture. You can also sell the floriculture. So that is going to act as a augmenting income for the farmer. So this success story we can replicate in other state as well. Okay. So dear student, those who are preparing for OPSC, so you can join our OPSC test series. So it is very nominal fee, yet you'll get very high quality test. Okay. You can simply scan this QR code. And recently we have started a new initiative to provide Odisha specific current affair. And gradually we are also planning to provide UP specific current affair and BPSC specific current affair. So please stay tuned with us. So as time progress, we'll provide that also. So India is fourth most equal country, says World Bank report. So that means the inequality in India is gradually declining, and we are the fourth equal country. So inequality in India has come down significantly between 2011 and 2022, so making it the fourth most equal country globally according to the World Bank report. So there is a perception that India don't believe unless it is said by Western country. Okay. So this is an addition to the sharp decline in extreme poverty. So recent time we have also seen that our extreme poverty level is declining very sharply. So it was 16.2% 11, and now it is 2.3%. So that means not only inequality, we have also declined the extreme poverty. Okay, government attribute the reduction in the inequality to various initiatives and scheme pursued during the last decade. So government said that because this has happened because of we have taken so many initiatives. So the inequality India measured through the Gini coefficient. I think you know about Gini coefficient. So there is a Lawrence curve. I think this is Lawrence curve. You know that. So if it is Gini coefficient is 1, so India Gini coefficient is 25.5, making it fourth most equal country in the world. So after Slovak Republic, okay, Belarus, so these countries. So if the Gini coefficient is 0, that means it is a perfect equal. If Gini coefficient is 0, that means perfect unequal. Okay? So it ranges from the value 0 to 100. So score of 0 means perfect equality. Score of 100 means one person have all the resources. So if you look, if the value is less, that means equal society. If value is more, unequal society. Like, so if you look into the value of the Gini coefficient, so higher the Gini, more unequal the country. So India's score is much lower than the China. So that means China is having higher inequality as compared to India. So lower than USA also. Here is they stand 41, for China it is 35. So as per World Bank, so you can see India is the only a fraction away from joining low unequal group. Okay. So next is the Supreme Court introduced quota for OBC, SC, ST in direct staff recruitment. So this is a very good initiative by the Supreme Court to ensure that there should be a reservation for OBC, SC, ST in the direct recruitment. So it's a welcoming steps to bring justice. Okay, so over 1 crore voters submit enumeration form in Bihar. So recently there is a special incentive. There is a you can say this special intensive revision. This is called SAR, Special Intensive Revision of Electoral Roll program is going on Bihar. So where they have received 1 crore. So that I'm just going to tell you the detail of that. So recently the Election Commission launched this initiative to remove all these unnecessary bogus voter and those who have name in the voter list without any valid reason. So they just want to remove them. But opposition and even the ADR, Association for Democratic Rights, NGO, that is fight for the electoral reform. They are saying the hasty way through which we are implementing. So they may disenfranchise, they may remove some the legal voter from the list. It will create administrative hurdle because so many people have to travel. So there might be misuse of that also. Okay. So because of that, it is quite criticism. We'll see later on. So next is under pressure. So how we are going to measure the pressure? Pressure is generally measured in the barometers. Okay. So from it was designed 17th to 18th century. So designed to make you can just read it out. So now we are using anemometer also. So currently we are using digital anemometer to measure the pressure. Okay. Just read it. So there can be a question, measurement of pressure. So question will around the poll office power to flag the citizen issue. So recently it is again talking about the Bihar the special intensive revision program. So it is talking about that only. So whether it is allowed or not. So this controversy is going on. Even some of them, even here it is given the NGO, that is ADR, Association for Democratic Right. They have filed case in the Supreme Court. That means because this process may remove some of the legal voter from the voting right. So that is their concern. And dear student, those who are appearing, those who are giving attempt in 2026, you can simply scan this QR code to join our application. Here you'll get a lot of test series free of cost. It can be the NCRT test series, it can be the PIQ test series free of cost, or it is nominal like 1 rupees. So you can simply scan this QR code and join it. Okay. So next is Amit Saha lay the foundation of India first cooperative universities. So cooperative is very essential for all round development of our rural area. And minister also requested we need to have cooperatives subject from class 9 to class 12 in the state board also. So next is recently there is a controversy emerged after Ministry of Environment and Forest say that the after implementation of the Forest Right Act, we know that Forest Right Act of 2006. So the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change saying that after this Forest Right Act, so there is a declining in the forest cover. This claim is rejected by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So the Forest Right Act is coming under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, that is MOTA. But there is a opposition from the you can say Ministry of MOEFCC, Ministry of Environment Forest MOEFCC, climate change. So because of this tussling going on, the tribal affair ministry clearly saying that if there is any such direct linkage, then you have to show that concrete data. Otherwise it will lead to the prejudice that the tribals are against this forest, and this is because of these tribals the forests are degrading. Okay. So you can see here. So the comes day after the 150 forest right and civil society group wrote to the Union Ministry regarding that India State of Forest report. So dear student, tell me in the comment box India State of Forest report published by which organization, and whether it is published annually, twice, biennially, or once in a 5 year or once in a 10 year. Tell me in the comment box. Let me see how many of you know that. Okay. So comes to after the 150 forest right and civil society wrote to the Union Ministry about this negative change in the, because of there is a negative change in the forest after implementation of that. Okay? So FRA does not deals with the regularization of encroachment. So this is what said that after giving the forest right, it is not regularizing those who are encroachment. It is only giving the right to the traditional dweller who are staying there for the centuries. Okay? So it is just try to balance livelihood with environmental conservation. So changes in the forest and tree cover has two sections: one positive changes and negative changes. So beneficiary under the Forest Right Act, one of them according to review. So India State Forest of published by the Forest Survey of India. Here it is given the already given the answer one part. In past decade, so first time the title under the Forest Right had been exclude in, ठीक है. So that is what creating negative perception, ठीक है. So next, dear student, the BRICS has no plan for alternative currency. So there is a recently there is a threat that is given by the Donald Trump that if there is any alternative currency other than the dollar, so Donald Trump is going to impose a huge sanction, against all these countries. So because of it, it was quite new. So Brazil ambassador to India says that summit in Rio will focus on building intra-BRICS trade, climate change, and artificial intelligence, and fighting terrorism. So this fighting terrorism is very important for us because after this Pahalgam attack, so we are concerning to create a narrative that and Karnataka, Pakistan. He said that the grouping may look adopting local currency. That means the BRICS may do trade in the local currency, maybe rupee, maybe yuan. Okay, option for conducting trade. So it will be a voluntary basis. So here you can say the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will going to visit Brazil and Rio de Janeiro Sunday morning, attend the BRICS summit along with leader of the newly elected Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, and Iran, Indonesia. So these five are the new members. So member are Egypt. First member is Egypt. You have to remember that. They can ask in your prelims. Egypt, Ethiopia, UAE, Iran, and Indonesia. All five will be leader of the joint statement focusing on India terrorism, so Pahalgam attack. And there might be speculation that Russian Prime Minister, Russian President, and Chinese Prime President may be join them. Okay? So recently we have seen that. So the president, there is the USA said that if there is a de-dollarization, will impose huge sanction. Okay. So recently, the Saudi Arab is also want to join the BRICS. So dear student, just read it out. I've already highlighted it, so you can understand. Here it is given. देखो, the US President Donald Trump has threatened 100 to 500 tariff against the BRICS if they move to establish, de-dollarize or establish an alternate currency. Okay, so US is a weak country, so no one want to have any conflict because that is going to impact their trade relations. So that is what misused by the USA time and again. So let's move to the last page to see. So recently there is a controversy emerged, Kolhapuri Choppal. So recently there is a famous luxury brand named Pradha in Italy. So they release a summer collection of chappal. So they are resemble like the Kolhapuri Choppal. That led to the protest and demand for the cultural recognition. Led to the Pradha. They issue a statement that yes, they have inspired from the Kolhapur Choppal, and they later on provide an opportunity that they are ready to collaborate. So that this is a good opportunity for Indian, to showcase our traditional artifact craft to the world level, and we need to capture that so that our farmer are going to get the benefit. So just student, at your homework, study about GI tag. So whether GI tag is GI tag is getting which act, whether it is recognized in international level, it is only recognized in national border, and in your state, how many products are in the GI tag recently? Last 6 months, how many, before your examination 1 year GI tag, like how many product are getting GI tag, you have to remember that so they can ask a question. Okay. So dear student, if you want to discuss with me, if you want to have any doubt session, so you can simply scan this QR code to join our Telegram. So from there you can ask me all your doubt, you can interact with me. Okay. So next is the trust of Dalai Lama. So recently there is a controversy erupted, who will succeed the Dalai Lama. So the Tibetan spiritual leader said that institution set up in 2011 and head will be the sole authority in deciding who will succeed him. The Dalai Lama currently they are taking asylum or staying in the Himachal Pradesh Dharamsala. And they have established a trust in 2011, and that trust is the sole authority to decide who is going to be the next Dalai Lama. But Chinese they use the government in Beijing, so they cite the Qingdao dynasty to traditional use a few times pick Dalai Lama successor through the lords, golden urns उसको बोलते हैं. So you have to pick a chits, and on the basis of that they'll decide that. Okay. So this is a quite controversy. Even our you can say the Ministry of Minority Affairs given a comments, and later on the our government distanced itself because China claimed that it is directly amount to interference in their internal affairs. So the nuclear pollution. So we know that recently what happened, the controversy. I'm just explaining to you in brief. So recently what happened? So the Iran is a signatory of NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. So it has to put all its nuclear arsenal or sources under the IAEA. And after this person going through all this IAEA, like the sites given a very conflicting opinion regarding Iran is developing some nuclear weapons. So on the basis of that, using that as a basis, so Iran and USA bombed the Iran. So like USA and Israel bombed the Iran. So now after bombing there, so uh, 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 bombing, during the bombing, so this person is also say that, so there is no concrete evidence of Iran is moving towards nuclear weapons. So because of that, this person is quite a news. And during Ukraine and Russian conflict, so when Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant was under attack, so this man play a very important role in averting the crisis. But in case of this Iran, Israel and USA conflict, so no urgency. So that is the reason. So he was in currently in quite in news. And Iran now clearly denies that they are not going to cooperate with IAEA, that is International Atomic Energy Agency. So here you can see, like Iran is currently having 40 kgs of highly enriched uranium, which is not needed for civilian use. And if you look into the JCPOA Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that was signed in 2015 by P5 plus German with Iran. So according to that, Iran can at max maintain enrichment level 3.67% and at max 300 kg. No doubt it is clearly breach of JCPOA Act, but already USA withdraw from that in 2018. So that means once you have withdrawn, so that means there is no restriction on the Iran. Now because of this attack and this person's double standard, so Iran might go for nuclear weapons. So every country they need some security guarantee. So if any country can come and attack and come to your country, so we need some sort of security. So that is the reason there is high chances that so Iran will not cooperate and secretly develop the nuclear weapon in future. Okay. So next, why Maharashtra debate over the Hindi? So recently there is a black slash happened after the government decisions to implement Hindi language in the primary level. So this leads to the rising regional political party. They oppose the introduction of Hindi. So children from class 1 to class 5th generally learn two language from mother tongue, the state language plus English. But Maharashtra government want to introduce Hindi. So that is the reason there is a black slash. Okay? So some regional parties supported that against the Hindi introduction. So due to that, government has to withdraw and form a government under Narendra Yadav. So to see how it's going to implement it. Okay? So this three language formula is basically given by National Education Policy NEP 2020. So this three language formula is given by National Education Policy 2020. So what are the lessons that we learned from the Telangana blast? So recently we are seeing a Telangana blast where 40 people have been died. So here we can see there are a lot of laxity, there are a lot of things that we need to learn from our past accident, but we are not incorporating, we are not following the safety standard. So you can use this as an information to support your answer regarding disaster management in DM. Okay. So next is, what are the pros and cons of employee link incentive scheme? So what are the incentive of employee link incentive scheme? Whom will benefit? So recently Union Cabinet approved the employment linked incentive scheme. That means incentive will be provided if you are creating employment. So aim at creating employment, particularly manufacturing sector. It is a part of the Prime Minister package of 5 scheme to facilitate employment generation. Okay? So creation of it will create 3.5 crore job over a period of 2 years. So center expected 1.92 crore newly employed. So here government will provide the EPFO amount. You can say the Employee Provident Fund amount up to 15,000 to installment, so that that will give reduce the PF amount of the employee, and that will create more quality jobs. So just read it out. So what are the reaction given by different concern stakeholder, and accordingly you can understand it. Okay. Yes, dear student, this is all about the 6th July daily newspaper analysis. So dear student, if you have any doubt, any comments, please write in the comment box. So I am gradually thinking to provide daily MCQ and mains answer writing. Already we are providing the current affair based mains answer writing. To get that, you can simply scan this QR code, and we are also I'm thinking to introduce some MCQ also. Already we are providing MCQ in our Telegram. You can scan this, and our YouTube channel that you are watching here in the community section, you will find already daily MCQ. But I am thinking to provide more MCQ so that you all can understand it. Okay. Okay, dear students. So if you think that this video is very helpful and if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and please share this link with your friends so that more students can get benefit of it. Okay. Okay, dear student. So we'll have to end our discussion here. So we'll again meet tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.